Live with Nicholas. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. Thank you for having me.
Matt, so you work for one of the most interesting companies, and I think a company that came to South Africa based on necessity more than anything, or started in South Africa based on necessity. I mean, you are part of Wheel Collision, am I right?
Correct. Yeah. So we are the #1 wheel repair in South Africa. We've got a national presence across all the different provinces. And basically what we do is we specialize in repairing wheels back to OEM condition. So of course, with the road conditions, the potholes, market is booming at the moment. And yeah, our kind of role is to, put customers in a better position, make sure that we're repairing wheels, in accordance with safety standards, and then repairing their wheels back to OEM condition.
That's brilliant, because so you guys are the only guys that start smiling when it starts heavy raining, because you know the potholes are coming.
and this year's been unprecedented. I mean, we've had so much rain the last year. I mean, normally you have these big streaks in December, January, but I mean, even up to, end of March, April, I mean, it's been raining, at unprecedented levels. So, specifically this year has been a great year from a business perspective. And if we look at the amount of wheels that we're doing on a monthly basis, it equates to about 10,000, wheel repairs nationally.
What?
Just to give you a bit of an indication of, kind of growth of market.
And how many stores? Because I mean, I remember you guys from Cape Town. I saw Wheel Collision come up. You guys actually fixed 2 sets of wheels for me back in the day when I had my shop. So I knew you guys from there, but you guys have expanded, because if I understand it, you guys are now part of the Tiger Wheel group and that type of stuff as well.
Yeah, correct. So I mean, the business started in 2006. So it's grown, steadily since then. In 2017, Tiger Wheel and Tire bought a 60% stake in Wheel Collision. And then in December 2020, we finalized the 40% transaction where we now own 100% of the business. And that's given us that expansion and scale, with that partnership. It's provided, good synergies within their market as well. And basically, I mean, with Tiger Wheel and Tire, we've been able to build and expand our national presence. So within my business, we've got, our full refurbishment centers. So we've got one in Joburg, Durban, and Cape Town. And these are full production facilities where we, repair wheels back to OEM condition. But likewise, in the Tiger Wheel and Tire setup, what we also have across the country is many, straightening wheel repair stores within Tiger Wheel and Tire. So if you buckle your wheel, there's not much damage on the face of the wheel, it doesn't need a full refurbishment. We can repair that wheel on site within 30 minutes. And I've got about 65 of those stores across the country.
Oh, wow.
So, what it really positions us quite nicely, because if you hit a pothole in Bloemfontein, we got a site there. If you hit a pothole in East London, we've got a site there where we can, assist our customers. So, it's provided us good scale and scope across the country. And then kind of the last division that we have is a cosmetic touch-up repair division. I bought a company called Mobile Magnetic in August last year. And they pioneered the cosmetic touch-up repairs at used car dealerships. So, small curb rash, kind of cheap fix. We've got buckies going around on a daily basis to, all the dealerships across the country. And they repair on site within 15 minutes.
Wow. So you can actually repair like scratches and stuff on wheels off, so without taking, do they have to take the wheel off in order to do that?
No, I mean, the used car dealerships, we do it literally with the wheel and tire on the car. We just mask and spray, and then just do a quick touch up on those wheels. Of course, with our larger customers where they want the full refurbishment, we've got buckies that are collecting wheels at all of their sites every day, panel beaters, dealerships, and even in the Tiger Wheel and Tire network as well. When we collect those wheels, we then deliver to the workshop. We repair back to OEM condition, and generally we target about a 3-day turnaround on those wheels, based on the production process.
That's absolutely brilliant. And now, from a development perspective, are you guys looking at increasing into more sites and stuff now as well?
Yeah, so I mean, expansion is, a key pillar of growth for us going forward. We want to be present in all the key metropolitan areas so that we can service all of our customers. So from an express store side with Tiger Wheel and Tire, we want to expand by another 12 stores in the next year. Taking us to about 77 express stores across the country. From a hub store perspective on full refurbishments, I'm actually opening up a branch in Pretoria in August. So we'll have 4 refurbishment facilities, by then. But by 2025 on full refurbishment facilities, I'd like to be at about 7 across the country. I think we need to expand that service into Bloemfontein, Port Elizabeth, those key areas where there is a lot of growth that we haven't tapped into. And then from a mobile magnetic perspective, we've only got 5 buckies at the moment. That's how we bought the business. So we want to expand to 10 in the next year. And by 2025, we want to have 20 of those buckies on the road servicing dealerships on a daily basis.
Sorry to interrupt. Is that like franchise type of situation that you guys are busy doing there, or is it
purely company owned?
Purely company owned.
Yeah, look, I like the franchise model, but our model at Wheel Collision is to have control, to own the market.
Quality control is the biggest part.
Yeah, no, correct. And specifically with us, quality, that's what really separates us. So we regulated by SABS on 2 standards. So ISO 9001, which is the quality standard, and then SANS 1158, which is a specific wheel repair standard. So in accordance to our certification, we have to follow certain guidelines. When, this business was started, it, really revolutionized the way wheel repair was done. Before 2006, it was a very fragmented backyard, type of repair industry. So when the original founder, created the business, it was to really professionalize it. So across the board, we invest heavily into our technology, and we make sure that we, delivering, 100% quality standards for our customers. Again, with the wheel, it's a critical component of a car. If anything goes wrong, then we're putting our customers' lives at risk. So we have to make sure that at every touch point that we repair a wheel, we're repairing it, back to that OEM condition.
Do the wheels actually go completely back to normal, to the state that they were in? Can you get 100% satisfaction on or to confirm that the product goes completely back to normal?
So if we're repairing the wheel and it hasn't been repaired before, we get between a 95 to 100% back to OEM condition. And just to give you a kind of an idea of how we run the process. So when we collect the wheels, we create our job cards. And what we do as a first step is we put every wheel into an acid tank. So when you dip it into the acid tank, it strips the wheel back to bare aluminium. So it strips all the original paint off. From the acid tank, we take it to welding. So if there are any cracks or gouges on the wheel, then, we weld that specific section. Again, we run it through our straightening machine to make sure that there are no buckles on the inner lip or outer lip. But, the core process in the middle is we X-ray every single wheel. And that was a technology that we pioneered within this industry. It hasn't been done before, anywhere across the world. So every wheel that we do is X-ray certified. We put the wheel through the X-ray machine. And basically what we, take a look at there is if we welded the rim, we want to make sure we've got 100% welding penetration.
Yeah.
If we haven't got 100%, we send it back to welding station and then back through to X-ray. But the most important is if we pick up any hairline cracks that you can't see through the naked eye. So on the spokes of the wheel, on the lug hole or the valve hole, then we rather recommend to our customers to then buy a set of new wheels. So yeah, it goes through X-ray. After X-ray, it gets powder coated, like the OEM wheel manufacturers. That just increases durability. From powder coating, it then goes into our paint-based system, where we match the original finish of the wheel. And then, of course, if it's a diamond cut wheel where you've got that shiny finish, on the face of the rim, we CNC that, through our diamond cutting machine. So that's kind of the full process that we've got in our main refurbishment branches. And that's why it does take, between 3 to 4 days to get a wheel back to that OEM condition.
Now, my next question is, do you guys play with, from the aftermarket perspective, with widening of wheels or changing of colors and all that type of stuff as well?
So when it comes to widening, we don't. And again, that's just regulated based on quality standards. We don't want to take risks, when it comes to that. You do have other specialist wheel repairers out there that, do that. But, we don't. When it comes to color changes, that's a big marketing, campaign for us. So, if you want to change your wheels, you want to funk them up, we can do color changes on your wheels. And especially when customers are buying new wheels from BMW or aftermarket, if you don't like the original finish, you can change it to any color that you kind of choose.
That brings me to a question, because obviously if you're doing something like that, you're taking all 4 wheels. What's your time process then from getting it in? How long are you without a car for?
So what we do is we try and provide a lot of convenience for our customers. So we've got, the largest set of loan wheels. So if you're coming for a wheel repair or you're coming for a color change, we have loan wheels across the country, even in the Tiger Wheel and Tire stores. So when you want to repair your wheel, we'll take the wheel off and then we'll put a loan wheel on so that you're at least mobile. Otherwise, if you, within our hub stores, we've got parking facilities here undercover where we, kind of store customer cars. And, generally they would then use either an Uber or then use, the second family car. But generally with the loan wheels, that's really provided a lot of convenience for customers.
That's absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And where are you guys going? So what's the next step? What's from a growth perspective?
The next step, so we actually started a really exciting new business in November last year. So as I said, when we repairing wheels, often we come through wheels that can't be repaired. So, we've got to recommend to customers to rather buy a new wheel. The problem that we found is that, if you're going to a dealership or an OEM and you're buying a BMW wheel, for example, often more than not, they're charging you 15,000 to 20,000 Rand per wheel. In some cases, which is really expensive.
I deal with the hot rod market. We've paid up to 100,000 Rand or 120,000 Rand for a set of wheels.
It's crazy. So we had a Rolls Royce the other day. Rolls Royce, we couldn't repair that wheel. For one wheel, 200,000. One wheel.
Oh,
it's insane.
That hurts.
But yeah, so basically, look, we saw this opportunity to say, how can we provide, additional, kind of service in market. So what we saw is that we could buy secondhand rims, or salvage rims. We actually started a campaign in Tiger Wheel and Tire called Trade and Trade Up. So if you're buying aftermarket wheels, for example, Tiger Wheel and Tire, I would offer you a salvage rate on your existing wheels. So I would say, you've got a set of X5 BMW rims, I'll offer you 1,000 Rand per rim, and we'll give that as a discount on your invoice.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, and that's really, really exciting because again, it's giving additional, value to our customers and market. Those wheels then come to our branches. We repair those back to OEM condition, box them, and then sell them into panel beaters or dealerships or for cash customers, where instead of spending 15,000 Rand on a new wheel, you can get it at 50% to 60% of that. Which is really
absolutely brilliant. I hope you guys are doing a press release on that, because I'd love to throw that into the market as fast as possible. That is, look, for guys like myself who obviously customize everything we can get our hands onto, the fact that's always the problem you have is now you've bought new wheels, but now you're sitting with the stock stuff, and then you end up with a workshop where you've got a corner of your shop and it's just all wheels that you can't get rid of,
And I think the benefit of this new division as well, as we get scale within it, is that, again, as I said, the general turnaround is 3 days. But if I've got this division where I've got, all the stock in the warehouse, and you come in and I've got those wheels in stock that you're trying to repair, all I need to do is say, so I've got these in stock, put them onto your car. I'll give you a trade-in on your existing wheels at 1,000 Rand or 500 Rand and give you a discount on your invoice. So again, it provides that additional convenience for customers where your turnaround goes from 3 days to literally 30 minutes.
That is absolutely brilliant. I love it. I absolutely love it. Well, listen, I think let's get give me the press releases, because I think this is something that a lot of guys are going to be interested in. And the fact that you're offering a service now, because the problem is to buy the wheel back from the OEM or the OEM back from BMW or Merc and stuff. I mean, the pricing is phenomenal on the mag wheel, and a lot of times they don't carry the stock anymore, especially if you're looking towards older models. And I'm saying older models like something that's like 5 or 10 years old, They don't carry the stock in those at the moment, which means then you start running around trying to find the best secondhand bad wheel that you can. And then even then you don't know if it's got bumps or bruises or anything on it. So I think this is absolutely phenomenal. Great, absolutely great idea.
Look, and they're massive. Look, I mean, they're massive supply chain constraints at the moment. So as you said, getting access to new OEM wheels is constraint number one. Constraint number two is specifically on the pricing. So your aluminium price has shot through the roof, you know, since COVID. And again, you know, that's inconveniencing customers. So, you know, providing this and providing value, I mean, I think it is definitely going to be a big hit, and that's going to be our big focus for the next year, is try and get that division up to scale. We're going to start in Gauteng locally with our customers here. And as we get that scale, then we'll expand into the different provinces, you know, from that point, you know, onwards.
Well, the thought, because I mean, obviously I've dealt with a lot of body shops and this type of stuff. And I know there's a lot of times when a car stands for weeks because they can't find the wheels, you know, or the client has to now go move over to a non-OEM wheel or a custom wheel and this type of stuff, which is not what they want to do in the first place, you know. So I think that's a great supply and demand, you know, like I said, because if they get, especially if they're in the point where the wheel can't be replaced, you know, you can't just buy another one, or it was just damaged beyond it. But Nicola, listen, thank you so much for being on the show. Good luck, man. I think what you guys are doing is great. I've loved watching this brand build over the last few years. And like I said, I've worked with you guys in the past, and you guys did a phenomenal job. Absolutely phenomenal job.
All right. Thank you, Joe. Thank you very much for having me, and thank you for being a loyal customer as well. We appreciate it.
Excellent. All right. Thank you so much, man.
Cool. Thanks, Joe.
Bye.